And I do want to say, and as well, another related how I found Jesus and how I found God. You see, I had overdose, and I had, it was in deep depression. I was suicidal. I had anger issues. I was always non-compliant, saying, but growing up in the church though, and just doing a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? That I don't do the worldly stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to really. I didn't shot nobody. I've done horrible drugs like that. I mean, I've done weed before, but I got delivered from that because you know what I'm saying. But I mean, it was never an addiction for me. But without that, cigarettes, you know what I'm saying. At one point, they were, but I stopped like that. You know what I'm saying. Here now, I smoke the cigars. You know what I'm saying. Well, I'm not perfect, but you know what I'm saying. I just that's my sinful flaws. You know what I'm saying? I have to be open with you. I'm not gonna be here being perfect, you know? But how now found God and Jesus though? And I'm like, that's why I don't here to judge you. But yes, God saved my life through the worst things, and I'm thankful and happy to be alive right now. Yes, I may have fall short and saying things, and I do sin. I'm not here to claim that I'm perfect by any means, but having a relationship with God means so much, a lot to me. I learned about forgiveness, forgiving no matter what I'm going through. But God is absolutely amazing, absolutely wonderful. I no longer, no, I had died overdose, but then I met Jesus. And he told me never to be afraid. And ever since then, I have the overdose. I made a promise to that, and I made that loud and clear. You know what I mean? And I thank God for that every single time. And I thank God for that. God has always been good for me, and He's always has. He's always been there. You know what I mean? More than anybody else in my life, and I have to say I'm thankful for that. I prayed. I stay prayed up. I do read the Bible. I encourage people to follow Jesus. I really do. To encourage to build a relationship. Before anything, build a relationship, and it starts with here. Okay, it starts with here. But we all must follow Him. That's where all we're gonna lead to, anyways. The Almighty High. And you know what? We all have to be together in unity. How you supposed to have unity? You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I don't beat up people, because I believe in unity. I believe not, everyone needs to be picked up. We all need to be reached out. Instead of beating somebody up, I'd rather pick somebody up. And that's what I stand for. And having a relationship with God, I know He's real. He spoke to me. He came to me. And that's why I don't do the things I do for the world, in the world. I don't. I really went broke and gave my last. I gave homeless people without even going on social media. Facebook and showing pictures sometimes. I don't have memories of friends. It's just me and God. It's just like, this is the road has been. I really never really had a day when I really had true friends. You get what I'm saying? Like, really had friends that were always there. They said they'll be there, then they forget about me. And you know what? It's okay. It's not putting down, but I'll show you, no matter what, if you feel lonely, you know what you have? You have God, and God is there to keep you stronger no matter what. That's what having a relationship with God is. Spiritual relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit 24/7 on the Bible. Yes, because I have to do things in life, of course. You got to take your 2 step before His 1. But doesn't mean that, I have to, be up on the Bible. And it has, I have to live life too. You know what I mean? But and that's what I mean. Like, people, but you do, but just don't try to live amongst the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you try to get your life straight, that's who we come to. We come to an agreement. We all do that of a sort. You know what I mean? But that's like, you know what I'm saying? I know I haven't done this and that, but it doesn't mean our storms doesn't make me better than you or worse than you or whatever case may be. But, you know what I'm saying, we all have storms, we all have a mission, we all have a purpose, we all serve different meanings. And that's why I'm not really judgmental of what you do, but I did tell you, you know what I'm saying, if this is right of God or not. But I'm not here to say, oh, I hate you for this, I hate you for that. No, you know, I don't play evil part of it, but you know what I mean? I suggest you do follow Almighty High and be spiritual, not be religious. You know what I mean? Like, don't discriminate people how they look. You know what I'm saying? It's never about race. He loves you all for who you are, no matter what the skin tone you are, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? That's why we pick up the pace, and that's what we keep doing. We keep the ball rolling, whatever case may be. And even when I do music, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I want to label myself as a Christian rapper first. I call it revival music because, you know what I'm saying, we all have a life, a manifestation of life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to here be a perfectionist and twist everything up into be perfection. So if I do music, you know what I'm saying, it's not, I wouldn't consider it just basically Christian rap. I could basically, you know, say revival music, but what it, you know what I'm saying, of God rap. You know what I'm saying? Of God. You know what I'm saying? Being a God, you know, manifest myself as maybe as a Christian, but you know what I'm saying, I believe in God. Not Christianity, just Christianity itself, but I just believe in Almighty High, the one who created. Believe in Jesus dying on the cross. His word. I don't believe in Christianity. I believe in his word. Jesus' word. Before I believe in Christianity words. You understand? Or you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in none of the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I believe in, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, it's not to judge you on that, but, you know what I'm saying? But following his word is all that matters. And have the relationship with him. Have a relationship through prayer, worship, praise. Praise and sing his name. Use his word boldly and firm. You know what I mean? Do that. Be real with it. Consistent with it. That's how you do it. When you pray, stop, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is not how you pray. As long as you get his time and say it in his will, whatever the case may be. But you know what I'm talking about. He just enjoys your time. Give him your time. If you haven't given him time, give him your time at least. Throughout the day. That's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? That's all he asks of me. Me, I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you so much. You know what I'm saying? If only you could force a horse, you can't force a horse to drink. But I could tell you what, you know, the relationship with him, he is real and everything else. And if you have nowhere to go, I suggest you do this because there is no other way besides him. But I'm trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying, if someone else falls, then we have to build, but we can't really beg. You got to keep building anyways. But I suggest we keep going with it. You know what I'm saying? Keep going with him. And follow the signs, whatever the case may be. And there is going to be false mockers and scoffers and false prophets, but worry about the road you're on. You understand what I mean? Like, you could listen to me and test the spirits out. Listen, you know what I'm saying, to get a fellowship right. You know what I'm saying? But the real secretivity of this whole thing is what relationship with God you have. See, it's not my place where I save you, but you understand what I mean? I'm not here to reject you as a fellowship. We all need somebody to lend a hand. You know what I'm saying? Love each other, love thyself and that neighbor and stuff like that. But always put God loves first, you know what I'm saying? But you make sure you're in the right crowd, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I let you come to me before I come to you. Because my worst mistake was this. Is always trying to fit in the crowd. And then I know I always stood out. You know what I'm saying? But now I've grown to mature not to do the stuff what the world does, but you know what I'm saying. But I also noticed there's some churches, you know what I'm saying. It didn't notice like you go to some churches, and you know what I'm saying. You sit there and and you see how they act and towards you, and they're like you're not home. See, I don't feel that's right. But now if I go to church and let's say someone, hey, hi, how are you doing? Can I sit here? Or you know what I'm saying? Instead of being stingy around you, and you know what I'm saying? Because we all sin, and we cannot act like nobody's perfect. And no matter what you wear, it shouldn't matter what you wear. It should. Be of course legit clothes, but you know what I mean. Like you don't need the all rich stuff in the church. You don't need that because the lady that put into two pennies in the jar is way more than what the rich man did. You understand what I mean? So, yes, it doesn't matter about what suits and stuff like that. But come on now, if the way that saying how you get treated is the church I would rather be, and I will welcome you and saying and talk to you even at the bar. Heck, I went to a bar one time. Here's another relationship with God, and they knew it was of Christ. So yeah. Anyways, I go to bar. I don't usually go to bars, but I met this person that went in a wreck. They were talking more about Jesus, and they said they saw him in me too before anything. And no, they weren't drunkards, drunks, because I wasn't drunk. We just got there, and we had this a decent conversation about God. I went to the club one time, in the club sometimes, and we had a good conversation about God. You know what I'm saying? I went to a club and still talked about it. God knows he's seen it. You know what? And we had a conversation. And you know what? We didn't judge each other. We had that conversation and we're open about it. To each and everyone's thoughts. And yeah, and we have different ones. But you know what? That's because guess what? I can't judge your relationship with God. And I can judge, but if you say he's fake or whatever case may be, then I'm going to disagree with you. But we all know he's real. And, but it's like you got to understand. Once you're done, it's easier. Because when you let God do the judging and let him handle it, you know what I'm saying, it goes by smoother. And you accept people. Love them for who they are. And that way you sell less arguments and stuff like that. But there's no God has you there for a reason, and that conversation happened for a reason. And if I could go to a freaking little club and talk about God, and it was just me and somebody else, and you know what? They say, you're right, But you're saying, no matter what we do, you're saying God sees. And he knows. He knows what that we're going to do beforehand. So why get mad and upset at somebody else for that? But does it give you permission to sin? No. But if we just pray every day and if we're tired of it, we'll tired of whatever case may be, and he'll fix it. And as we pray along when he wants it on his time. But we have to keep on lifting each other up instead of beating each other down. That's why I hear about most complaints about some people tell me, I'm saying, I like about you. There's some Christians that, are really, really picky and too judgmental and bam, 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 beating me. And that's why it's that sometimes they can't. You guys can't. That's why they don't ever want to come to Church of Christ. But it's good to come to Church of Christ and Kingdom. Don't get me wrong, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what people say. I get it. And reading the Bible, it takes childlike faith to understand. And that's why I love, you do it out of love first. To get to people. not be hurtful or be vindictive or be being on hand. Before you gotta know who you are first. Yes, before we came about to God, we were sinning too. So we can't really beat each other in that, because at the end of the day, we were all started out as lukewarm Christians and then turned into Christianity and this and that. So before we say someone is a lukewarm or this and that, I get what the people are saying and understanding. And that's why they say, I like you, as, saying in a way, because I respect that. And that's what makes them eager and want to connect. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's all about respect and being real. And knowing that God, we all will meet him at a steeple, knowing that's a big deal. And that's being spiritual Christianity. And being spiritual is accepting people, resisting, but because even he said the people out there are more understanding than some of the wise. And even we can be wise in our own eyes. And not to be too wise, because you have to have more room to grow. Everyone has to have room to grow. Because we do not know it all. When we do not understand it, we cannot act like we do. Because if the person keeps beating up and tends to forget, but how do you know, what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. But how do they know if I'm a gummy bear Christian or whatever the case may be, if you're not living what I'm living? You know what I'm saying? You can't really make fun of how Christianity is just because you think, or maybe how I express it is my own way, but not my own understanding. Do you understand? I talk about my relationship with God. Talk about, besides this, the scriptures, because I could read the scriptures all day to you. Or, tell you the ones that really meant most to me. Or, saying that fit relatively with my life. And picking point, there's 5 I have, the main ones that I have and hold. I don't have to tell nobody, really, I don't. But, what I'm saying, I really don't. When I know I have it in my heart, whatever case may be, I could, what I'm saying, it's between me and God. That's how I work for him alone. But yeah, for our explosive. But I'm just saying, though, there's 5 that'll get me through life, and I think it could carry me along the way. Along the way, that's very important. The most important ones you can have in your life to carry you each and every step of the way. And you'll be guarded for life. There's 5 specific ones. I'll just give you one for right now. Philippians 4:6. Don't worry about anything. With the dot and this thing, I don't know what you call them. Because, like I said, I have problems too. Yeah. But I understand, though. That's my flaws. That's whatever he made me. But he knows what I mean. God knows what I mean. But what does that mean? That means anything. Absolutely anything. About this coronavirus, I've been said through all of this thing. It will never shut down my faith and never take me away from God, because I've been through way so much worse. I have a big immune system. I know whatever case may be. And guess what? Still, I believe in God. Straight up. Did I look gummy to you now? No. I'm not soft at all. I'm not scared of the devil. I told him many times about that. I know he watches behind the camera. Because guess what? I don't fall short of the device. I am sorry. I am so sorry. We could go at this again. Because I'm not no false prophet. I'm not none of that. I really do love God. Ain't nobody gonna take it away. Does it look like I look gummy bear to you? Or do you think I'm really serious? I don't like these politics at all. Because Babylon will fall. Babylon's America. And guess what? If the president's so good, we would already been in a better predicament. And if you don't listen closely, since the world is at this rate, whatever it case be, tumbling down, and we're and the Bible's where, saying Babylon is fall, America's the fall. That means you have to have that to have the New World Order. And since we're in those timing days, who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for God, or would you rather vote for the person that's running in office? I'd rather vote for God. Because in these days, especially, I'd rather vote for God. Because guess what? I don't put nobody before God. And it goes to show you that you got to vote for God first. Because why is Donald Trump building up Jerusalem? Because we out there anyways. So you have to put God first before anybody. That's just straight up. Anything. It's just being straight up. The truth is the truth. Jesus is key. Jesus is key before you. Jesus is key before me. Jesus is key before anything. His came in flesh, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? We all say you can be saved to salvation. It's up to you to have the relationship with God and to be delivered. It is up to that person as an individual. Trust me, I know. Am I angry? No, absolutely not angry. I'm the same, though. I am really firm. I am bold. I'm being humble. I'm just letting you know what is real and what is not. What is a relationship with God and how you keep it. This is how you be determined for Him. This is how you be strong with Him. Firm. Nothing to take away. I'm not being bitter. I'm not beating you on the head to what to believe. It's time that we wake up. And these time of days, I'd rather give it to you all. I give it to you all. In the Bible, it gives you heaven, hell, and all of that stuff. And want to lead people in there. It gives it to you all. I'm going to give it to you all. Not just because I know He loves you, but I give you through the bad times, the good times, the sinful times. I give it to you all. I told you too about myself I've been telling you on Facebook. I've had songs about my sins before. I confess about all kinds of stuff. Through my music, you could tell the changes that I had in my life. You could see the ups and downs and the growths to the storms. You could see the chapters and moral stories. And there's no one's going to judge me that, because guess what? It's right there. But when I ask for people, it's why I don't ask for people to be, to love me or nothing like that. I'm not saying though, if I were such a bad person before someone judges about your Christian, won't you pray for me then, man? Why don't you come over here and come with fellowship? If I ain't here, have an altar or have this, because you know what? I'm not a preacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here. What do you call me? I don't even know what to call me. I'm a servant of God, I guess. Or a child of God will tell you. The God's honest truth in my relationship. But I'm just saying, though, I'm not here doing my own understanding or just trying to be wise in my own eyes. It's just experiences that He saved me through all kinds of stuff. Loneliness. And He's so real. And just being realistic with you. The realistic truth. Well, my truth to relate to you as people. Because before there was I don't have no church building. Because the real church is right here. Before you have buildings, you had it here. It starts here. It starts here. It starts here. Yes, you can have a building. But guess what? That building don't know good, because some of them will be put to fire. Now, wouldn't it? The earth and heavens may pass away, but His words remain the same. Just saying, though. So matter if where I go with it, His word remains the same. No matter the case may be, His love, He created you. He lives inside us, so that makes Him the temple and the church, right? That's really the church. Because He's the Holy Spirit. Just saying, though. But you get what I mean.